You're listening to the Empowering Process Podcast with your host, Gail Kraft. Listen as she holds frank discussions around how your purpose, being present, and trusting your power impacts your life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or developing your vision, you'll find wisdom and insights you can utilize right now. Welcome your host, Gail Kraft.
Well, it's Gail Kraft and the Empowering Process Podcast with you again today. And the subject that I thought I would like to cover is the statement, do the work. This has been bantered around a lot lately, at least in my world. I don't know about your world, but I will tell you that there's a different perspective when I hear the word do the work from me than from most people. So I want you to just go on this journey with me, if you will. Do the work. When you hear that, do you think, I'm working hard, I get up every day and I put my nose to the grindstone and I push, and nothing changes. Everything is the same. So step back a little bit and stop and think about what that might mean. The words do the work. One thing for sure, do the work means to have conviction, to have intention, to have integrity about what it is that you want to achieve. But most important, from my perspective, do the work means checking in with yourself first. So why is it you're doing what you're doing? Why is it important to you? What is it that you're trying to achieve? So let me give you a bit of an example, if you will. Do the work. All right, so you're working, let's say you have a career and you're in corporate and you have a job to do. And do the work is the day in, day out routine, a day in and day out process, and maybe a weekly, monthly, quarterly deliverable. And do the work is just getting to the deliverable. And the deliverable has no flavor for you, has no texture. You're disconnected from maybe what this deliverable does in moving the company to its ultimate goal. And do you even know what that is? And if you do know what it is it something that you align with? Is it something that makes you excited when you get up in the morning? Is it something that you think you could do more of and you can't wait to go to school and get more information, or you can't wait to develop even more, or maybe even make some changes and be creative? If it's not important to you, then you might be doing the work and you might be pushing, but you are not going to achieve much of anything other than frustration and maybe some dissatisfaction. So do the work on really finding out what's important to you. Why is it important to you? And when you discover what is ultimately important to you and how this applies to your future, to your career, to your personal development, then how will you manage your day-to-day in order to stay in alignment with that? So again, another example, when I get up in the morning, before I even get out of bed, I think about, first of all, what day is it, right? We all, like, is it Monday? Is it Saturday, right? Is it Thursday? Don't know. But for me, other than meetings that I have scheduled and client commitments, it doesn't matter what day, I still have the same intention when I get up in the morning. And the intention is to be my best, to do my best, to serve and be unconditional with what it is that I want to do, unapologetic in how I get there, because it's so important for me to show up. And so every morning I manage my day by first reiterating what's important to me and why, and then how I'm going to fit what I'm doing into that framework every day. How am I going to show up today? How am I going to be ultimately fantastic and delicious with the choices that I make? How am I going to be present in the moment? How am I going to be conscious of the choices that I make? How am I going to be available when called upon? How will I manage my day? And then the next question is, where are your resources, right? Where are your tools? And where are the people that you can call on? When maybe even getting up and setting your parameters, you kind of fall into a little struggle. And you, even when you say, I know what my purpose is, I know what's important to me, I know why I'm doing this, and it is so exciting to me, but I just can't get those juices going. Who do you turn to? For many of us, we have a community that will support us. We have coaches that will support us. We have a network that supports us. If you don't have those things that support you, and what do I mean by support you? It doesn't mean that they support your naysaying. It doesn't mean that when you say, I need someone to, they support, oh, you need someone. I know you need someone to do this for you. No, you maybe need to get something done, but what can you do to get it done? And as long as you have someone who's going to support where you're going and not be afraid to say, wait a minute, Gail, you need to step back and take another look at what's going on. It's not okay for you to show up like this. What are your resources? So the morning prep, like I said, for me is really, really important. I also need to do something a little different, something that scares me just a little bit. One of my coaches, the way that he says it is, I want a little throw up in the back of my throat. I don't want to throw up, but I want to feel that when I go to do something. I want that excitement. I want that, like, oh my God, what is it that I'm going to do, to actually appear with my choices. And then you do it in spite of, or maybe because of, the fear of doing something different. And that's another thing. If you have conviction on your intention, and you're clear as to why you're doing something, the very next step that may be out of your current comfort zone is one that you will take because of your conviction of what it is that you want to achieve. You could have lots of talent, all of the talent in the world. I'm an amazing project manager. I really just have a natural skill for doing this. I've always been a great leader and a great manager. And I will tell you, I could do it in my sleep, but it is very boring for me. It is very boring to do that kind of work. What I love about it is the interaction with people and helping them stretch and helping them create something new. And so as a coach, that's kind of what I do, is I help people stretch. I help them create. I help them change their mindset from the I'm not too sure I can to I'm absolutely positive that I will, and it's going to be amazing. And it's all about conviction. It's all about doing the work. And sometimes when you even don't want to do it, if you just say, this morning when I got up, I said I would do it, and I'm not going to disappoint me. I'm going to do it. When you're clear as to what your intention is, when you're clear as to what's important to you, then you feel fantastic when you push just a little bit when you don't want to. If your intention is not clear, if your purpose is a little bit muddy, and if your goal has nothing to do with what motivates you, pushing a little bit more will exhaust you, frustrate you, and reap you nothing in return. Be sure you know who you are. Be sure you know what it is that you want. Be sure that you're clear as to your purpose. Unconditional, unapologetic, here to serve, to help people grow and be more. Thank you so much, Gail Kraft from the Empowering Process Podcast. If you enjoyed this, by all means, let me know and like it, share it. And if this brought something up for you, please do make a comment down below, and maybe I'll do an Ask Me Anything segment just for you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empowering Process Podcast. Be sure to visit Gail at gailkraft.com to learn more about how she serves thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and goal seekers. And remember, if you like this broadcast, be sure to share and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.